Have you ever looked at your girlfriend and felt a cold, sinking feeling in your gut that something is off? That tiny voice in your head whispering that the woman you love is pulling away, but you can't quite put your finger on why. You notice the phone face down more often, the new inside jokes you don't get, the sudden criticism about things you used to love about you. You tell yourself you're being paranoid, insecure. You make excuses for her. She's just stressed with work. Or maybe I'm just being too needy. But deep down, you know. Your intuition is screaming at you, and you're trying to silence it because the truth is terrifying to face. Let me tell you something right now. That gut feeling, it's your greatest weapon. It's your primal instinct picking up on the subtle shifts in her behavior that your conscious mind is trying to rationalize away. Ignoring it isn't peace, it's self-betrayal. In this video, we're going to move from that sickening feeling of doubt to cold, hard clarity. We're not talking about accusations, we're talking about evidence. These are the 7 undeniable signs of a cheating girlfriend that you should never, ever ignore. Let's begin. Sign number 1. Her phone becomes a war zone. This is the most classic sign for a reason. It's almost always the epicenter of the affair. We're not talking about her simply using her phone. We're talking about a fundamental shift in her relationship with it. It's no longer a communication device. It's a vault containing her secret life. You'll notice she suddenly has a password she never had before, or she quickly closes apps and hides the screen when you walk into the room. She might take her phone with her everywhere, even to the bathroom, something she never used to do. The notifications might be silenced or set to do not disturb when she's with you, ensuring a name you don't recognize doesn't pop up at the wrong moment. Pay close attention to her emotional state while she's on it. Does she get secretive smiles while texting, only to become dismissive and closed off when you ask who it is? Does she get defensive, angry, or accusatory? Why are you so obsessed with my phone? Don't you trust me? As a preemptive strike to make you feel guilty for your valid suspicions. This is a tactic called DARVO: deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. She makes her secrecy your problem. Remember, in a healthy relationship, phones aren't secret bunkers. A sudden, intense need for digital privacy, especially when paired with anger, is one of the brightest red flags you will ever see. Sign number 2. When intimacy vanishes. Cheating isn't always physical first. It's almost always emotional first. She has to disconnect from you to connect with someone else. This sign is about the chilling evaporation of emotional intimacy. The easy, flowing conversations you used to have become stilted and transactional. She stops asking about your day, your thoughts, your feelings. When you try to share, she's distant, nodding along but not truly listening. Her mind is somewhere else, with someone else. The shared laughter dies down. The inside jokes fall flat. She feels more like a polite roommate than a passionate partner. You might find that she no longer seeks your comfort or support for her problems, instead turning to this new friend or keeping things to herself. This creates a palpable emotional distance. You can be sitting right next to her on the couch and feel a million miles away. She's physically present, but her heart and mind have already checked out of the relationship. This withdrawal is often the most painful part because it leaves you lonely and confused, desperate to fix a problem she is actively creating. Don't mistake this for a simple rough patch. A rough patch is when both people are trying to rebuild the bridge. Her emotional desertion is when she has already crossed a new one and burned the old one down behind her. Sign number 3. Work gets a lot more demanding. When a woman is investing time and energy into another man, that time has to come from somewhere. Often it's stolen from the time she used to dedicate to you. This manifests as a sudden and often poorly explained busyness. You'll notice a pattern of last-minute changes. "I have to work late" becomes a common refrain, but the details are vague. If you ask what she's working on, she gets defensive or gives a murky answer that doesn't quite add up. Girls' nights become more frequent, and the stories from them might feel rehearsed or lack specific details about who was there and what they did. She might start a new hobby or gym routine that somehow always seems to occur at odd hours, making it difficult for you to join. The key here is the inconsistency and the defensiveness. It's not the act itself. It's the new pattern of unexplained absences coupled with a reluctance to provide clarity. When you try to pin down plans, she's non-committal or evasive, leaving large, unaccounted for blocks of time in her schedule. A woman who is happy in her relationship doesn't actively seek to create distance and mystery around her whereabouts. She wants to include you. Unexplained busyness is the logistical footprint of an affair. The changed appearance and new habits. It's natural for people to evolve their style, but when cheating happens, the change is often sudden, pronounced, and suspiciously linked to her new freedom. She might start wearing significantly more makeup, buying a whole new wardrobe of sexier clothing, or getting a dramatic new haircut, and the motivation doesn't seem to be for herself or for you. You might notice she's putting in this extra effort for those late nights at the office or casual brunches with friends. It feels like she's dressing to impress a new audience. Along with the physical changes come new habits and tastes. She might suddenly develop a deep interest in a new type of music, a TV show, or a hobby that you know nothing about and that she never expressed interest in before. She might start using new slang or phrases that aren't part of your shared vocabulary. This is a subtle but powerful sign of psychological influence. She is being molded by and adapting to a new person in her life. She is absorbing his preferences and his culture. While self-improvement is positive, a rapid, secretive transformation that coincides with other signs on this list often points to a new source of inspiration and a desire to attract or please someone specific. Sign number 5. You're suddenly the villain. To justify her actions to herself, a cheating partner often has to reframe the entire narrative of your relationship. You, who were once the great boyfriend, are now recast as the source of all her problems. This is called retroactive jealousy or creating a straw man. She will begin to pick fights over trivial, nonsensical things. She'll bring up past issues you thought were resolved, not to find a solution, but to use them as evidence of your failings. She might become hypercritical, finding fault with your appearance, your career, your personality, or how you load the dishwasher, things she previously accepted or even loved. This serves two purposes. First, it creates emotional distance and conflict, making it easier for her to pull away. And second, and more insidiously, it builds a case in her own mind. I'm not a bad person for cheating. Look how terrible he is. He drove me to it. She's constructing a flawed and negative version of you to make her betrayal feel like a justified escape. If you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells and can't do anything right despite your best efforts, understand this may not be about you at all. It's about her needing to villainize you to quiet her own guilt. Sign number 6. Physical connection dies or becomes forced. The bedroom doesn't lie. A profound shift in your physical relationship is a glaring sign that her physical and emotional energy is being directed elsewhere. This can manifest in two opposite but equally telling ways. The most common is a complete shutdown of intimacy. She suddenly has constant headaches, is too tired, or simply rejects your advances with a coldness that wasn't there before. The affection, the casual touches, hugs, and kisses also dries up. She might flinch or pull away from your touch as her body now subconsciously registers it as a betrayal to her new partner. The other, more confusing manifestation is the opposite, a sudden, inexplicable spike in passion. She might initiate sex more frequently or try new things in bed that seem to come out of nowhere. While this might feel like a positive revival, it can often be a sign of a guilty conscience trying to overcompensate. Or worse, she is replaying experiences with the other person in her mind. The key is to look for the energy behind the act. Does it feel connected, loving, and present? Or does it feel performative, distant, and almost transactional? A fundamental, unexplained change in your physical connection is her body's way of telling you what her mouth won't. Sign number 7. the gut feeling, your primal alarm bell. We started with this and we must return to it because it is the most important sign of all. Your intuition is the sum total of all your subconscious observations. It's your brain connecting the dots that your conscious mind hasn't yet processed. That sick feeling in your stomach, the sense of dread, the inexplicable knowledge that something is wrong. This is data. It's not proof you can present in a court of law, but it is proof for you. Men are often socialized to ignore their emotions, to be logical. But intuition is a form of logic. It's rapid, non-linear processing of microexpressions, tone of voice, behavioral patterns, and energetic shifts. When her words don't match her actions, when her energy feels closed off, when the vibe of the relationship has fundamentally changed for the worse, your gut picks up on it. Don't let her or anyone else gaslight you into thinking you're crazy or insecure. Your intuition is your internal security system, and right now, it's blaring an alarm. The other 6 signs are simply the tangible evidence that confirms what your gut already knows. Ignoring it is the single biggest mistake you can make. If these signs are hitting home, it's time to stop doubting yourself and start seeking the truth. Trust your gut, observe the patterns, and have the courage to confront what you find. You deserve honesty and respect. If this video gave you the clarity you've been searching for, do not miss out on the tools we provide to become a stronger, more aware man. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We're here to give you the unflinching truth you need to navigate these situations. Stay strong. See you in the next one.